The story focuses on Nightwing during the events of the Night of Owls. Nightwing is in the midst of an investigation into the Strayhorn brothers. However, his investigation is interrupted when he learns that the Court of Owls have sent assassins to kill Gotham's important people. William Cobb, the assassin from Batman Volume 1, hunts the mayor, who is in a meeting. Whilst reflecting on his past, he and Nightwing fight, and William injures Nightwing. Nightwing continues to fight William, his grandfather, as William tells him that Nightwing has wasted his life as he lies bleeding on the floor. Nightwing ultimately wins the battle and manages to defeat William. So the Nightwing tie-in was one of the more relevant stories in this tie-in. I really liked the parallel between Nightwing and William. Both Nightwing and William are self-made men who have built themselves up from what they were previously. For William, it was just an average street person looking for money. And he eventually became a circus man. And he fell in love with a woman. And for Nightwing, it's the further progression of who he used to be. Now he's remade himself into Nightwing. And has reinvented his own persona. Kind of like what Bruce Wayne did with Batman. But also, William became a darker man due to his experiences. And he lost faith in himself and what he could accomplish. Whilst Nightwing never really changed. He grew up, but Nightwing's character has always been consistent. And I think that is because Nightwing's experiences as Robin and what Batman taught him was a lot more meaningful than what the Talons are taught by their Court of Owls. You'll find this with quite a lot of the tie-ins I will review. All the court do is change men and women into killing machines. They don't teach them anything else. They don't teach them how to better themselves as people. And whilst Batman does, Batman teaches his Robins to be more than what they are, to embrace a bigger purpose. I really like Nightwing's costume. Because this is my first exposure to the Nightwing character in the New 52. Now, I am kind of bummed out that Nightwing didn't stay on as Batman. But I do really like the whole red costume. It has Nightwing as a new invention. It has the reflections of his past as well. And I also thought that William Cobb's past suits the nature of the story that they're trying to tell. A lot of because especially with the Nightwing character, there are a lot of the Talons have parallels to Nightwing. And it's really nice that Nightwing parallels all of these different Talons. So that's the end of the Nightwing review. This story follows Carver, a Talon sent to kill Lincoln March, as seen in Batman Volume 2. Carver was trained at Haly Circus and was failing in his duties to perform his job for the Court of Owls. It's revealed that he was active around the time Dick Grayson lost his parents. Carver attempted to attack Lincoln March, but is shot, but Lincoln March manages to shoot Carver. Carver is then defeated by Batman, but escapes back into the city with the Bat family on the hunt. So in Dark Knight, Carver is the Talon who attempted to kill Lincoln March. And this Talon struggled, is a failed Talon who struggled due to his age and other factors that prohibited his abilities to act as a Talon. And what I liked about this Talon was it was a very different to William Cobb. This Talon had a very, very different background to what William Cobb's background was. And I really, really like the fact that all of these different Talons have a different story to tell. The rest of the story doesn't have much going for it. There is really not much story being told in The Dark Knight. And I felt a lot of the story being told was kind of meaningless and didn't have a lot of great storytelling. And for this story, I would give it about a 2 out of 5. There wasn't enough good storytelling being told in this story. Dr. Arkham is targeted by the Talons, who have been sent to kill Gotham's most influential and important people. The Talons hunt Dr. Arkham as the police attempt to escort Dr. Arkham out of the asylum. Batman arrives to save him and fights the Talons. Dr. Arkham manipulates Black Mask into causing a riot, which then allows Dr. Arkham to regain control over the asylum. However, a Talon tries to kill him again, only to be defeated by Batman. In the backup story, Harvey Dent meets with a cop who asks if Harvey can find out who is blackmailing him. Using his old contacts, Harvey tries to find Freakshow, who may have information he needs. Harvey, however, is taken out by a gang who announce they have chosen him to be their leader. So, the Black Mask returns in this story. And, we also see that Arkham may be corrupt as well. This story does not have a main a main Talon being introduced. And it more follows the story of Jeremiah Arkham as he's trying to rehabilitate these villains. Like, Dr. Arkham is the face of Arkham, of Arkham Asylum. But it's kind of left with the question of, is Jeremiah Arkham more corrupt than the people he's rehabilitating? And that's the story being asked here. Is Arkham Asylum a corrupt institute? For me, I was really disappointed that we didn't have a backstory for the main Talon being introduced. I kind of liked that routine of seeing a Talon's backstory and getting to know these characters as they're going about their mission. I just thought it was a bit more fun to tell these Talon stories. But Jeremiah Arkham does fine, I guess. The backup issue is also pretty interesting, with Two-Face. I liked the issue for the most part. I liked the story for the most part. I honestly wouldn't go out of my way to go read the entire story, but I just wanted to touch upon it because it's in this issue. I would give this story about a 3 out of 5. Batgirl faces a female Talon, whom we learn lived through the Nagasaki bombing, and became a Talon when Haley Circus found her. The Talon leaves Batgirl alive in their first encounter after injuring her. Elsewhere, the Court of Owls blackmailed Jim Gordon, who was dealing with the Court of Owls' attack on Gotham. Batgirl goes into battle as Alfred calls on the Bat family. She witnesses the GCPD attacked by balloons with bombs strapped to them. Batgirl defeats the Talons, however she sees the Court of Owls symbol over Gotham after Gordon switches it on. The Batgirl issue. Gail Simone writes Batgirl so well. Batgirl is probably perhaps one of my favourite stories. And just on this issue alone, I would go out and go buy Gail Simone's entire run on Batgirl, because she just writes Batgirl so well and so interesting. Batgirl as a character, obviously when the New 52 hit, the fact that Batgirl lost her regained her legs, and was no longer the Oracle, I think was disappointing to many fans who had grown to love the Oracle character, and had actually pushed a disabled character and made her stronger was really interesting. And I think the fact that Batgirl was reversed like that, I think many fans found that really disappointing. But Gail Simone took all of that and made a really interesting character out of it. Such a strong female character. And I think out of all the female characters that I've read, she is one of the most strongest female characters I've seen written. Gail Simone really knows really knows Barbara Gordon and knows how to write strong female characters. The Talon was by far the most interesting talent in any of these tie-ins. And possibly even more interesting than William Cobb and the Owlman. Maybe rivaling Owlman, but this Talon was just such an interesting character. Her background was interesting. The way the way this Talon is developed was interesting. In this story, this story also furthers the narrative of what was happening in Batman at the time. And we see the symbol of the Court of Owls shine in place of the Batman symbol. Just as a slight nitpick, though, the Court of Owls is a secret organization. The very fact that they exchanged the bat symbol to the Court of Owl symbol seems really out of character for a secret organization to do. I love the artwork, and I also loved how this story connected with the other storylines as well. Really liked this issue. 5 out of 5. The Birds of Prey are in the midst of fighting a Talon, who has just defeated Poison Ivy. Black Canary and Katana lead the Talon to a church, where they prepare to make their final stand. However, Starling and Batgirl arrive to help them fight the Talon. They lead the Talon towards Gotham train station, where they hope to freeze him in the meat locker. However, the Talon begins to fight back. Poison Ivy then shows up and drags the Talon into the meat locker. Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is a very, very funny kind of issue, and there is quite a lot of references to Tim Burton. I believe the character is called Starling. Starling makes a lot of funny quips in this story that I kind of found quite funny. Other than that, I did not feel that that this Birds of Prey story was all that interesting. The Talon, the backstory for the Talon was really bland. Not very interesting. This is clearly not the original Birds of Prey. And for that it suffers. If you're going into Birds of Prey on this issue alone, I think the very fact that it didn't have Huntress and Oracle, really, I think, was a little bit strange. Why have a Birds of Prey if you're not going to have two of the main characters for that story? Black Canary appears in the story, but she's not the Black Canary that I'm used to. She's not to me, she doesn't seem like a very strong Black Canary. And also, why is Poison Ivy the leader of this Birds of Prey team? I just find that very, very weird. Because Poison Ivy is blatantly a villain. And the fact that she was entrusted with the Birds of Prey, which is supposed to be an information task team, is really rather strange. And I also felt the artwork was slightly skewed. As you can clearly tell, this wasn't one of my favourite, issues. I would give this about a 2 out of 5.